welcome back to the Paranormal Review. Today we're going to be talking about the Jeep 4xe and the three different modes that it has, okay? And please, before we continue, please subscribe. It helps my channel. Please like this video, even if you don't really like it. Just joking. Don't lie. If you don't like it, put a dislike, please. Anyways, let's get going. So, first of all, before we start, the car does have three modes. But even though it has three modes, it's always a hybrid, okay? Meaning, no matter which mode you're going to put it in, if the car senses that it needs something, whether it needs battery, whether it needs gas, it's going to give you that, okay? So, let's get into the modes, and I'll kind of go into that more while we go into the modes, okay? So, for example, what I would suggest you drive on most of the time, if not all the time, is hybrid mode, right? And what that is it's going to, the car's going to automatically sense and use whatever is most efficient for your car, okay? So if it thinks you need gas, it's going to use gas. If it thinks it needs electric, it's going to use electric, okay? What I've noticed is it's going to use if you plugged it in overnight or on a fast charger, you're going to plug it in and it's going to use almost 100% an electric battery, okay? Every once in a while, yeah, if you step on the gas and it feels like it needs some gas in there as well, it's going to meet your demand with gas plus also the electric motor at the same time. Okay, but it's going to mostly use that battery at first. As you continue driving and you run out of that electric power from the plug-in, right? It's always a hybrid, like I said, right? So as soon as you go to zero battery, it's not really zero battery. It's just there's a battery bar that's showing you how much you can run if you were to only use battery only, and how much battery only you have left for the hybrid mode, right? So, like I said, it's going to use that hybrid battery, to use the battery almost exclusively until it runs down to zero. At that point, it's going to use the gas and the battery intermittently, okay? And so what I'll notice what happens is usually, you get on an on-ramp, for example, where you need to accelerate a bunch, the battery's going to kick in power and the engine is going to be mostly electric, and then the gas is going to take over after that, right? And then whenever it can, it's going to use electric instead of the gas, right? It's still going to prioritize electric instead of the gas whenever it can. So if you are going down a hill, it's got gas power and it has some electric power, it's going to punch that in, and then it's going to help you get back up the hill with the electric battery, and then it's going to go back into gas. But it's always doing both, right? So that's what hybrid kind of is, right? On the this guy flips me off over here. That'd be so funny. Anyways, then you got electric mode only, okay? So you can hit a button that says electric mode only, and it's going to use only electric, okay? Like I said, it's still a hybrid, okay? So if you really punch the motor and you really just get it going, and your car senses that it needs some gas, it's still going to throw some gas in there, okay? It might take a little bit longer to do that. It might not do it right away, but if it needs it, it's going to give it to you, okay? But what the electric mode only does is it allows you to tell the car only use electric, and this it really has to use the gas, okay? So if you're up in the mountains and you're like, driving around looking at animals, for example, or looking for Bigfoot, right? Maybe you punch that into electric mode and you use only electric mode. That way you can not scare the animals away, make things a little bit less noisy, talk to your friends in the back seat more. If you have the top off and everything like that, you're going really slow. It's really cool because it's like you're almost on a walk in the forest, right? Not quite. It's still make a little bit of noise. The tires and the axles and stuff are still going to make noise and stuff, but you get the point, right? And then you have e-save. So this is going to be mostly. I wish I had another camera. That's a cool picture up there. Anyways, e-save is going to be more for, like I said, when you want to go off-roading and you want to save your battery till later, okay? So e-save can either do two things. It can either save your battery or it can recharge your battery, okay? Depending on what settings you have it on. So, yeah, so if you were driving 20 miles to get to the mountain or the trail, you would use e-save, get to the trail, get to where you want on the trail even, and then punch it into all electric mode or hybrid mode, whichever you prefer, and then use the battery instead of gas in the engine. So, anyways, guys, another thing that people use that for, I usually just leave it in hybrid if I'm driving around town or on the freeway. But some people, if you're on a freeway that goes mostly downhill or you're gonna get decent gas mileage on that freeway. You could throw it into e-save, save the battery for the city driving, so you can kind of be more efficient in the city, you know, stop and go driving instead of wasting it on a freeway where you could get mostly decent gas mileage anyways. So that's kind of a what you want to do there. It does have max regen braking, similar to what you have on a Tesla, but not exactly. You still have to put your foot on the brake. But that will charge your battery every so, whenever your car slows or brakes or whatever, it's going to use that to charge your battery a little bit and give your battery some more juice. So that on the freeway, that might be one thing you might want to consider using e-save to conserve for stop and go driving. Anyway, guys, until next time, please subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.